They're called B'nai Anusim, or sons of the forced ones. That's because they face the choice of converting to Catholicism or death.
It's something in the Jewish world that I don't think, apart from what is happening here, I've ever heard about it, or not 10 years ago, about the plight of the Jewish people from the time of the Inquisition. And it's easy to understand that because it was, of course, 500 years ago.
Jimmy McClintock joined Christians and Jews in Portugal to pray for the B'nai Anusim. The hope is to restore their Jewish heritage so they can immigrate to Israel.
For the Jewish people in America, you're either Jewish or you're not Jewish. The B'nai Anusim is different from that. The B'nai Anusim today, being confronted with the realization that they are Jewish, and yet their family life took a huge turn 500 years ago.
King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella initiated the Spanish Inquisition to expose Jews who converted to Catholicism but secretly kept their religion.
Either you convert or you die. So they never gave, Jewish people, these descendants, the option. But these descendants, they chose to keep their Judaism in secret, and it was a risk. And many of them died because of that. And they paid a high price for keeping to their origins and to their faith.
Castelo de Vida is a quaint Portuguese town of about 5,000 people. It's about 10 miles from the Spanish border. Hundreds of years ago, when the Spanish Inquisition started, Spain's Jews fled across the border here for protection. Over about 4 years, King Manuel I of Portugal welcomed some 120,000 Jews to his country. In 1496, however, the Catholic Church demanded King Manuel deal with his Jews before he could marry the daughter of King Ferdinand in Spain.
First, he thought he would ship them out, like the Jews were kicked out of Spain in 1492. And then he realized that if he does, he's got nobody to administer his country and to run the country. So he forced to convert them in one day.
One of the places that happened was this town square. The Jews were rounded up and brought here from the Jewish neighborhood, sprinkled with water and given new names. Afterwards, they were sent to new homes in Christian neighborhoods. At the time, many of Portugal's Jews fled to newly discovered Brazil, where an estimated 60 million of their descendants still live today.
And they want to know more about how to reconnect to the Jewish people and to the Jewish faith.
They include Mateus Guimarães and his father Marcelo, who started the first-of-its-kind museum about the persecution of the Jewish people during the infamous Inquisition.
What is happening is that today we have thousands, if not millions of Brazilians that know that they are descendants from Jews from Portugal and Spain. And I believe the Lord is doing an awakening, and these people want to know more about their heritage.
But they face a situation similar to their ancestors.
The Orthodox establishment in Israel, they want to convert them to Jewish Orthodoxy, which is exactly what the Catholic Church did. They forced them to do something they don't want to do.
Israeli Joe Shulam, who started the Nativia congregation in Jerusalem, is leading the immigration campaign for the B'nai Anusim.
These people say we are Jews. We never stopped being Jewish. We were Jews even when we knew that if the church catches us and tries us in the auto de fe, we could be burned alive. They converted on the outside, and at home in secret they kept Jewish customs.
The smallest things could give them away, like preparing on Friday for the Sabbath or Jewish holidays. According to Shulam, the challenge is convincing Israel to change its law of return. It currently states a Jew who converts to another religion is automatically disqualified from immigrating to Israel.
They have kept their Jewish customs for 500 years on their own free will, at the pain of death and torture. So why now force them to convert?
Shulam and others believe this return to Israel would fulfill biblical prophecy.
God says through Obadiah the prophet that the Jews from Sepharad, I'm a Sephardic Jew, the Jews from Sepharad will come back to the land with God's blessing and settle the Negev. Israel has been trying to settle the Negev for 70 years. It's still empty. The Negev is waiting for these Jews.
Isaac Herzog, chairman of the Jewish Agency, tells CBN News discussions are underway on how to handle immigration of the B'nai Anusim.
This is a major issue because it also has to do with legal issues, historical issues, but yes, I'm very much looking forward to an enhanced policy together with the government in Israel on this.
The vision is big. Shulam says they hope to eventually bring 2 million of these Jews back to Israel. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Castelo David, Portugal.